Hey y'all, Aaron Taus here in my studio in Taos, New Mexico, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my song, I Will Always Love You. Not to be confused with the perennial I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. The song is not a cover, I just have a tendency to name my songs basic names sometimes. So this song, like a lot of my songs, started on acoustic guitar. Of all the songs on this album, this one is actually the oldest. I think I wrote this song 6 or 7 years ago. And that's sometimes the case, I don't know, with other artists, but for me, that I'll write a song and the time won't be right to release it because it doesn't fit with other songs that I'm doing at the time or something, or the good songs kind of stick around in the back of your head like gum, and they keep coming up like, oh, I should finish that one, I should finish that one. So that's how this song came about. I always knew it was going to be a good one, and I really liked it. I just had to wait for the right time to finish it. So they're really kind of classic chords. It's just G, B minor, E, and then the turnaround is C. So it's a couple of songs on this album, like I'll Always Love You, definitely have like a retro singer-songwriter kind of tinge. I think at the time I was listening to the Beatles a lot. Lyrically, this song, I think I wanted to mirror the classic sort of sonic palette of the acoustic guitar and just that warm texture. And at its core, it's a love song. I mean, the title of the song explains it all. I will always love you. And when you feel that way about someone, it's kind of like acknowledging that this may not last forever. It's acknowledging that I may screw up, you may screw up, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna always love you no matter what happens. So even though there's a little cheese, it's true. You love somebody, and if you love somebody enough, you're gonna love them forever, no matter what happens. Let's take a look at some of the stems on this track, some of the instrumentation that I added here. All right, let's take a look. So like I mentioned, the whole song started with this acoustic guitar. I think I doubled the guitars. Yeah, so this song is actually pretty simple in terms of the meat of it. You know, basically the guitars sort of do everything. Then there's some electric guitars I added that do this. Actually, my friend Alex played these. And he played some more fancy chords because I can't play those. And I added a bass line, which just basically follows the chords. Does this kind of riff. You know, I think I wanted this song to kind of sound like the Beatles, or one of my favorites, The Band. It had kind of just that kind of good vibe. I had a friend of mine play drums, Austin, and with the guitars and bass, it sounds like this. Just a nice plodding sort of rhythm. And then that's basically it. I added some organ just to fill it out a little bit. And I think the piece of this that brought everything together was the horns. I don't know how to play horns. I've always wanted horns in track, and a friend of mine, Bijou, put me in touch with this guy, Dan. And Dan added these amazing horns that just basically accompany everything and fill it out. Here's some more. So sick. Uh, I've actually never heard it like that. It just sounds so good. But this is what it sounds like with everything. I mean, I love this song, you know. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. I love this kind of music. It just makes me feel good. There's a solo at the end that originally I had just as a really basic acoustic guitar solo, so something like this. I love, especially in classic tracks, classic rock tracks, where the guitar solo basically just mimics the melody of the vocal. So it was just acoustic guitar with a little bit of electric on top to start, and it was. And then I started adding more. And then, of course, Dan came in and just blew it away with the horns that doubled that melody. Come on. I love that. And then you play that, just for context, with the chord progression under it, just to understand how that all fits together. I love this song a lot. And then, my vocals. In the past, when I was learning how to sing and couldn't sing as well, I would just by default double my vocals. And I think a lot of people do that. Just it takes less pressure off a single vocal take sounding good. And it's just a trick to make everything just sound better, especially when you can't sing that well. But I used to just by default do that. And I think recently I've been able to distinguish between when it works and when it doesn't, and if I'm just using it as a crutch. So I do sing more single vocal takes now. But this song, it just felt, I think an inspiration was John Lennon, where he would double his vocals. And so I did that for this song. I will wear you out. I will let you down. And I think to further kind of give that John Lennon vibe, my mixer, Adam, on this track added, I wanted it to sound John Lennon-y, so we added a bunch of slapback. And then as the song progresses, I do actually seem to add some harmonies in this, which is surprising because back then I could not do harmonies well. I will hurt your heart. A little rough just by themselves. But I won't break it apart. Then you got some oohs and a falsetto that comes in just to build out the hook bridge section, I guess. No matter the circumstances, babe, I'll be your man. I know I'm not perfect. Yeah, so that's the vocals on this one. So yeah, there's a little explanation of my song, I Will Always Love You. It's definitely one of my favorites on the album, so I hope you guys like it.